and welcome back to another episode of Akiba's Trip, Undead and Undressed. And here we're gonna finally get going with Pops' side quest, which I'm going to do wrong. So, in confusion, I thought this was like the side quest on the, it was either Junk Street or Side Streets where you had to fight Synthesters. So I fought this girl, who didn't stand a chance because random people on the street have like no clothing durability. So here I am, just wailing on this girl here. Realizing that was probably not what I was supposed to do, and then running into the actual objective. Which is, on every main street side you get this situation. And of course, you know, the red names, that means side quest, that means important. So they're talking about whatever, and they're not listening to me, so we gotta entice them with something. So we gotta get them off the streets, so we're gonna go tell them about a bargain sale. Which is going to work for some reason. I guess because saving money in this economy is important. So we just dispelled one of 4 problems, and that was very easy, you know, art of persuasion. I bet you didn't expect that. In a game where most of our resolution is just beating people up, an actual way to resolve an issue without fighting is very, very tantalizing. So here I'm looking for my next group of people. They usually congregate in 2s or 3s. It's not hard to find them. Luckily, this quest gives you the benefit of them just being out in the open. You're like pretty sure where they're gonna be. So these guys are smoking, and we're gonna inform them of the local smoking areas, which I guess that information really changes their hearts and minds, because they're gonna now go to the smoking areas. They're really respectful, and that just goes to show you that just because they smoke doesn't mean they're bad people. Trust me. Nah, not by experience. Anyways, we're gonna go to the next one. This one is, I think, a little further down the street. Unfortunately, the spawn places usually place you a little further away than the actual objective is, but that's okay. I thought I missed them over there, but they're actually all the way over here somewhere, and they're just right near the edge. So these guys are just dancing in the street. I don't know why. They don't know why. And so I'm going to pay them. Oh yeah. I am going to give them money to leave. So I could have fought them and won, easily. But I felt like paying them money, because that's money I probably don't need that much. So all it took was a 4,000 yen bribe to get people to move. So now we're 3 for 4 on no combat. And it makes you wonder whether I'm going to be 4 for 4, no combat situations whatsoever. I accidentally went to Southeast instead of Northwest, which I'd already done Southeast. So this last situation, Main Street Northwest is a little bigger in scope due to the fact that it's nearer to UD+, and there's a lot of under areas, but these guys are drunk. They seem like they've been playing a wild game of Battleship with shot glasses. So we're gonna call them a cab. We could have like beaten them up, but instead we called them a cab. And that's great. We mastered the art of persuasion by not hitting any of them. And 4 for 4, no combat. That is the most peaceful moment this entire game will ever grace me with. I'm more than certain. An entire mission where all I had to do was talk people out of fighting me. And there you go, I get paid 5,000. So I made a profit. I only paid them 4,000, so 1,000 yen profit, pretty decent. Alright guys, here it is. The moment I've been waiting for, and maybe you've been waiting for, but I sure as hell have been waiting for it. Shion's gonna drug us with taurine. That's right. Energy drinks, Monster, Rockstar, Red Bull, other brands that I'm not plugging because I don't drink energy drinks, but we're about to in this video game, full of Chinese herbs. It's very healthy, and apparently we're gonna be pushed beyond the limit, and it's not illegal, FDA approved, and really it's not gonna do anything, but the game's gonna make it seem like it does something, because I don't know. So yeah, we get to fight Shion now that we've been drugged through energy drink. She says it's very hard, but honestly, the only hard part about this is that it doesn't put you in attack mode immediately. I don't know whether it was glitched or what, But as you can see here, I'm not in attack mode, so I had to get in there, and of course, I was kind of in the way. Shion's attacks are quicker, so the parry window's a little tinier, but as you can see, I adapted there to it. It just took a little getting used to it, because I don't know why it failed to put me in attack mode off the bat there. It was kind of weird. But anyways, Shion doesn't have a lot of clothing durability either, so I just did a parry strip and just immediately just went, we're done. And of course, we're gonna get the character eye candy just flashing by, because we did strip Shion to her what she'll call bare essentials. And so she's very impressed and embarrassed at the same time, because naturally we've shown our newfound power, which really wasn't newfound. Really wasn't. It really didn't change anything. It just made the game just made it seem like it did something. However, we are about to get something that is game changing. So it all evens out. It would be a little disappointing if the game just, you know, put us here and was like, yeah, you just got to strip this girl, now that's it, that's all you get. But no, we get it. The great thing called Unison Strip. And we're gonna do it on this guy. So, the game tells you about it early on, but you can't do anything until this moment. What's gonna do is it's gonna put a gauge above your partner's icon up in the screen. And that is the Unison gauge. As you can see, it's nearly full. It's that gauge right under Shion's face. Once we get up to the top, it's gonna glow pink and make a noise right there. And when I hit up on the D-pad, what happens is we get this great sequence here, and it changes depending on which partner you have. Of course, Shion's a CEO, so she's gonna fucking waste this guy, and I like this. Our characters is like, what the? Oh god! And she just, and it almost looks like I'm helping the guy for a second, like, oh man, this might be a little much, but no. That's the Unison Strip, and here's what it does. Well, it's gonna explain very briefly, but I'm gonna explain what it does. Basically, hitting anyone builds up the Unison gauge. When it glows pink, you use it. And of course, you get the cutscene. It's skippable. And, but I'm going to let you see, for any partner I have that isn't Shion, I'm going to let you see the Unison gauge cutscene at least one time. And basically, what it does is, whoever you target it on, it will strip them completely, almost always. Even on boss characters, depending on how much damage you've done, I think. But it strips a certain durability of clothing, and it's usually always fatal. And what it also does, which it makes it even more useful than just the normal, like, strip, is that any enemies that are around you in the vicinity of the Unison Strip get paralyzed, which you've probably seen me when I've done parrying or done strong attacks. Sometimes they don't get knocked down, but they get stunned, like they won't be moving. Anyone in the area of effect of Unison Strip will get stunned like that. So you're gonna have, if you're like crowded by like 10 people and it's getting really bad, if you use Unison Strip, they're all gonna be dazed. So you're gonna have an entire stun area where you're going to pretty much just seal the deal on getting hits in, because there's no blocking, they're not going to be able to parry or block or attack you, they're going to be standing there, so you get to pick your battles a little bit, and that's really, really convenient. And Unison Strip is overpowered as hell, especially on lower difficulties, because on lower difficulties the enemy's clothing durability is way lower. On higher difficulties, especially the hardest difficulty, Unison Strip is not only almost impossible to build up, because the difficulty changes the rate in which the gauge increases, and on the highest difficulty, you get it so rarely. You have to like conserve it, and it does conserve across partners as long as you never use it. But on the difficulty we're playing, it's gonna be relatively easy to build, and it just takes people out. And even on this low difficulty, like on normal, it'll like take out like boss characters. I mean, we're gonna use it, it's full spoiler, we're gonna use it on Xenia. That's the reason that his fights after this moment are gonna be a lot easier. Unison Strip is going to make fights against like characters like that so much easier, because it's either gonna strip them completely or it's gonna damage them heavily. And that leads to a much easier experience, and it's a bit of a cheese. the difficulty this low, because you're basically just, it's just so easy to build the gauge up just doing hits and, you know, getting parries in, and then you can just wail on high health characters, and it just from here on out the game will increase, you know, difficulty in terms of enemy mobs and health, and, you know, there's gonna be more headgear, which is gonna be super annoying. But on the other side, we're now more powerful, very literally. And Unison Strip is very useful, as long as we have a partner, of course. So, to get back to what was happening, this guy, this scrawny-looking guy here, doesn't look like he's going to be important, but as you can see, they drew him a character portrait, which means, spoilers, he's going to come back. And is it going to be a good thing? Is it going to be a bad thing? I'll let you wonder. But he will be back. This guy with his stupid mustache and his very, very passive aggressive tonal. So now Shion's been stolen away from us, which is, you know, fine. I mean, we're not gonna need her for now, but she'll be back. This isn't the end. And so basically what we're gonna have to do now is we're gonna do patrols. So we're gonna go back to the standard fare patrols, and of course that's gonna be fantastic. Standard fare patrol missions are very easy and very quick to get through. So we're gonna get paired with Shizuku right off the bat. We don't get a choice this time. It's just the game's gonna pick. You're gonna be with Shizuku. So we're gonna get her, and we're gonna get to see her Unison Strip cutscene. So of course, much like any normal situation, we're not gonna go straight to the main mission. We do get one side mission, and this one's a little bit of a lengthier one, but not for the reasons you might be imagining. The side mission itself is pretty easy. There's not a lot of mobs, but it's a little drawn out because of one reason, and we're about to find that out. So it's only one side mission, as you can see, the Artlian Wars, and we got to go over to Electric Town to get it. So we got to go talk to a businessman, and of course I'm gonna flim through my email here. We're gonna get emails from this guy who has a very interesting name, and of course we're not the person that they're addressing, but we're gonna get those emails just because, you know, flair. So the reason this quest is gonna be a little longer is we're gonna go through a lengthy cutscene of just dialogue, and it's gonna be some good practice on how not to get sold artwork that doesn't mean anything. Of course, I keep screwing up the flyer collection here. I keep forgetting to knock into them, but it's okay. So basically, we got to go over, and the Artlian building is over here in Radio Kaikon, and we've never been in there, and we'll probably never go in there. But they're waiting, and I thought it was these businessmen, but it wasn't. They're waiting over here near the building, and when we engage in discussions with them, it's going to begin this great cutscene where they're going to try to sell me artwork that's going to improve my life. And somehow they knew we were coming to beat them up. I'm not really sure who leaked that information, but it's not really important. So she's going to get her friends, this chick and this other chick's going to show up, and they've got like Eiffel Towers replicas on their backs. And they're going to try to sell me artwork like no other sales pitch. This is going to be a pitch for the angels here. And they're going to tell me it's going to improve my life, it's going to improve my health, it's going to improve my libido, it's going to improve my outlook on life, it's going to improve my life, it's going to improve my facial composure, it's going to improve my countenance, it's going to improve my well-being, it's going to improve my reflexes, it's going to improve just about every facet of my being. And of course, the first, I like how it gives you the aw, hell nah decision off the first. Now of course, just one denial is not enough for them. But of course, I'm not gonna fall for it. I don't want to buy any artwork, because they will take real money. I don't want to spend any yen on artwork, even if I can use it as a weapon, which would be pointless. So after denying them 3 times, they're gonna go, well, we're just gonna strip you, which is kind of a weird outcome. But luckily, they're using heavy weapons, which are incredibly easy to telegraph. So naturally, this fight is gonna become an incredibly easy endeavor. Though we unfortunately got this guy into it out of the blue, probably a synthesizer who was just waiting there. And so this is going to be fairly easy. I did a very slick dodge there. And the Arlians, their clothing's a little more durable than normal, but it's not a hard, it's definitely not a hard encounter, especially because now I've got buffed damage. They're trying to hit me from all sides, but it's not working. And the chain buff damage is very, very useful. So that's one down. This guy who got in the way is almost down. And now we've still got 2 enemies left to fight. They got back to the dodging quick. And now we got 2 down, leaving only 1 more Arlian to fight. And luckily, after we beat them, there's not going to be much left to do. Tried to go in for the head grab there, and of course, like usual, it's being a lot more difficult than it should be. And he stopped my attack. But now I'm just going to go for the pants. Going to finish this guy off so I don't have to deal with him anymore. And luckily, Shizuku's basically wailed this woman down to almost no health. I stopped her strong attack with a grab, which was not intended, but definitely appreciated. And her durability is pretty much done, so we're just going to take this over. And I don't want to deal with this other guy who just jumped in the fight, so you know what I'm going to do is you do the Unison Strip. Hell yeah! I don't want to deal with this guy anymore. So, with buff damage, Shizuku's going to beat the shit out of this guy with her parasol. I'm going to throw him up in the air. She's going to do this really sick jump and strip him midair. And that's going to just end this battle before it even has to get any more annoying. So of course, Shizuku's just going to go attacking people again. And I'm in the middle of a conversation which I couldn't quite read the words. So, with a partner, it's even harder to get out of battle mode because the partner's kind of initiating it. So I got as close to the exit as I could possible so that I could get the hell out of there because I did not want to deal with any more enemies because I'd run out of Unison Gauge and that would have been a real pain. So, of course, we got to go back to our friend here to get paid. Luckily for us, he's going to give us 5,000, I believe, 5,000 yen. And that'll go into my pocket. Definitely could use the money. Because I'm going to go buy more microphones with it. Oh, he gave me 8,000. I thought it was 5,000. Yeah, he gave me that slightly higher range. So with my new cash, I'm going to go buy more microphones. Because naturally, more microphones are great. Once again, just screwing up the flyer, wasting seconds, precious seconds on the flyer giving animation. But yeah, we're going to run over here and we're going to get more microphones. And naturally, the reason I get more microphones is because I want my microphone to be more powerful. Because we're about to go on patrol. And because I'm going to go on patrol, I want to have a more overpowered microphone than before. So we're going to run over to Nana's room to get those my microphone, you know, worked in. Get it refined for the next battle. And, doing that's going to make this next encounter very easy. However, with all that time spent with side missions and getting Unison Strip, it's pretty much filled us in for now. So that's going to do it pretty much for this episode. After I get my microphone up to 400, which is going to bring it up to a new rank. Anyways, I thank you for watching. I hope you stick around for more episodes. I appreciate it. And I hope I'll see you next time.